Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, this is a simple video for you about playing simple 16th note drum fills and starting those drum fills on beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4 and really developing the facility to play simple drum fills and kind of know where you are in the music, know where you're starting a drum fill and basically coming out on beat 1. So on the face of it, this is a video kind of for beginners. I'll show you the sort of fills I'm talking about. We're talking about a straight 8s, straight ahead rock feel here. So fills of this nature. Or it could be something like, or maybe, or what? Or maybe, or even really simple fills like. So those kind of fills, man. And often people say to me, I struggle to come up with drum fills. I'm not sure. People ask me questions like, I'm not sure when to start my drum fill. Or people often say things like, I go for a drum fill and when I play it, I don't come back in the right place or it goes out of time. Here's a really, really simple thing that I do all the time with students, not necessarily always beginners, but students near the start of their sort of drumming journey, just to make sure that we're on top of a couple of things that are really, really important in drumming, massively important, and also things that could be just super useful in terms of giving you stuff to play. In the first instance, what we're going to do here is we're going to play a groove, which is a straight 8s feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to play drum fills, which are 16th notes, as in semiquavers, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, played as a single stroke roll. So if you're right-handed, right, left, 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 or if you're left-handed, left, right, 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 left, right. And the big theme here is just getting really comfortable with knowing what beat you're on, like counting as you play, and in time as you keep going, that counting will turn to feeling the thing, man. But we're going to count here and be aware of what number we're on at first. Generally here we're going to play 3 bars of drum groove and then a 1 bar drum fill. So let's do this. Let's do 3 bars of a rock beat, and in the 4th bar we're going to play 1 bar drum fill. So the drum fill will start on beat 1 and be 1 bar long, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. This is the 2nd bar. Here's the 3rd bar. Here comes the drum fill. 2 and 3. You get the idea? Now where you play those 16ths is up to you. A lot of beginners just go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and that's all good, right? But what you realise is the drums are an unpitched instrument, right? So you can actually play any way you like. 2 and 3 and 4. So you can actually play around the kit any way you like, and that's one of the big things I like to get people who are starting off on the drums to sort of get into straight away, is picking a note value and like in this case 16th notes and a sticking pattern here, single stroke roll, and just playing around the kit, man. Just like practice orchestrating around the kit. We're playing this unpitched instrument. Remember, you can't really play a bum note here, so just have some fun here, noodle around, experiment. In this first case, 1 whole bar of 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You know you can't hit a wrong note. You go too fast, you go too slow, you can play not the right number of notes. But if you're counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, it's going to come out in the right place. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You can even do, as a great drill, right, 1 bar of groove, 1 bar of fill, just to get your head around it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 2 and 3. Here's the drum fill. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just playing around. Never changing the sticking or the count. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. It's a lovely thing. Just play around your kit, man. 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. So even if you're going really, really slow, I'd really, really recommend doing that. Just make sure you're able to say the count and be aware of where you are. Remember, a bass drum is 1, the snare is 2 in the groove, the bass drum is 3, and the snare is 4. And on your drum fill, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Make sure you could do that. Playing simple grooves and fills like that, moving around the kit, and be aware of where you are. And it's amazing to me how many people who've been playing the drums for a long time, often will do a session like their drummers have already been playing, but they'll come to me and say, oh, can we do a session? Often they're not able to do that and keep track. And that's an absolutely core skill. And that's what a lot of this is about, is be able to keep time, like count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you go to your fill, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Like I say, with time and rehearsal, that counting does give way to feeling it, and that's as it should be. When a musician's on stage playing, or when the red light's on in the recording studio, you don't want to be going 1 and 2 and 3. At that point, obviously, you've got to feel it. But as a way of just making sure you've got this in your system, man, I'd really recommend doing that. And then what we do from there is start to experiment with where we start our drum fill, right? So obviously there the drum fill starts on beat 1. Let's now do the same thing, but we'll start the drum fill on beat 2. What I mean by that is we'll go 1 and at the start of the bar with drum fill, with the drum fill in, like on the hi-hat, as if we were going to do another bar of groove, but then we'll play 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You see the core skill we're developing here, starting on beat 2 now. So we're developing that ability to keep count, to know where we are. These are absolutely basic skills that you'll lean on in so many things that you do. You know, when your drum teacher, you're learning a piece, right? And your drum teacher says to you, oh, this one starts on beat 2, this one starts on beat 3. This is really what this boils down to, being able to sort of feel that and count that and come in at the right time. I'm now going to play 3 bars of groove and 1 bar of fill, and in the bar of fill, the fill will start on beat 2. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and drum fill 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 2 and 3 and 4. And now remember, my drum fill is always single stroke roll 16ths. 3 and 4. Here we go. 1 and 2. You got it? 3 and 4. Go a little faster. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here comes the drum fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here comes the drum fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. You getting that? I'm starting the drum fill on beat 2, right? Now I'm going to start the drum fill on beat 3. So now what I'm going to play in the bar where the drum fill happens is 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and 3 E and a 4 E and. Again, in the first case here, we're just playing single stroke roll 16ths. So I'm now going to play 3 bars of groove, 1 bar fill. The fill will happen in the 4th bar, just like before, but the fill will now start on beat 3, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's the first bar. 2, 3, 4. That's the second. And drum fill 1 and 2 and 4 E and 4. You get it? 3 and a 4 E and a. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and a 4 E and. Again, where you play around the kit is up to you. That's half the fun of it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is the second bar. Here's the third bar. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here comes the drum fill. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So that was drum fill starting on beat 3. And you guessed it, now we'll do drum fills starting on beat 4. So this is just going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and A. So we're just going to play 4 16th notes here, 4 E and A. So like all the other examples, beats, or the beats that aren't drum fill, in this case 1, 2 and 3, we're going to play groove as normal. 1 and 2 and 3 and, in this case. A good thing to remember, by the way, is if you're starting on a beat, like we are here, on beat 1, 2, 3, or 4, the thing that will happen just before you start your drum fill on that beat is always a hi-hat on its own. So in the case of starting on beat 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and, you got it? 4. So that's always a good reference point, the hi-hat on its own before you come in on the beat with your roll for your drum fill. Now I'm going to play 3 bars of groove, 1 bar fill, and the drum fill is going to start on beat 4 of the bar where the drum fill is. Here it comes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the first bar. And 2 and 3 and 4 and here comes the drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and here comes the drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 you got it? Like I said, if any of those are tricky for where you're at, if you're near the start of your drumming, that's completely fine. You could even just go, for a bit of practice, 1 bar of drum groove and 1 bar of drum fill, right? Just go round and round. So, for example, on the one that I just did, starting on beat 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's my bar of groove, and then 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, to get to know it. Once you kind of can do that, I would recommend playing a little loop of 3 bars of groove and 1 bar of fill. Obviously, when you're playing music, it doesn't always work like that. Mostly doesn't work like that, but that's something. It's just like a nice little structure, little 4-bar loops, 3 bars of groove, 4th bar containing the fill. Big fan of that. So a really, really, really nice stage to get to for a sort of beginner, someone's near the start of their playing, is to be able to do that and to play the drum fill starting on beat 1, or beat 2, or beat 3, or beat 4, like on purpose, like, by choosing, right, I'm going to play this on beat 2, I'm going to play this on beat 3, and land on the crash on beat 1. That's a really nice thing. And if you can do that and play even straight 16ths like we're doing here, single stroke, and move around the kit a little bit, you've actually got a really massive supply of drum fills ready to go there, haven't you? I'll play through it, man. I'll do each one a couple of times. So 1, 2, this first one, drum fill starting on beat 1. So 1 bar of groove, 2nd bar of groove, 1 and 2 and 3rd bar of groove is the fill, and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and drum fill, here we go. Okay, this time I'm going to play the drum fill starting on beat 2. And 1 and 2, here we go. Oh, my mistake. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the first bar. Here's the second bar. 3rd bar, drum fill starts on beat 2 and 1 and 2 and 4. I'll do that again because I cocked it up. So 1 and 2 and 3 is the second bar. Here's the 3rd bar, 2 and 3 and 4 on the 2, 1 and 2 and 3. You got it? Okay, this time I'm going to start my drum fill on beat 3. 1 and 2, and here comes the drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and you got it? On the 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 on the 3. Here it comes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3. Okay, this time I'm going to start it on beat 4. Here we go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You got it? 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, I'm just choosing beat 1, 2, 3 or 4 to start my fill. I'm playing groove up to the moment I start the fill. I'm executing the fill with single strokes, 16th notes, and then I'm crashing on beat 1. And I would say that's a huge benchmark to hit, like when you're starting off on the drums. So many drummers I see are confused. They aren't certain what to do on drum fills. They're very kind of nervous when the fill is coming up, like how am I going to start it, what am I going to play. People just sometimes freeze and say I can't think of anything to play at all. If you've got this, then you're up and running, man. You're in the game. If you've got this, you've got something you know is going to work. And then when you're playing and being creative, you could start to think, okay, I'm going to start my drum fill here on beat 2. I'm going to start my drum fill here on beat 3, and so on. Once you're happy with that, and you can at will play drum fills of that nature starting on beat 1, 2, 3 and 4, you can then start them wherever you like. You can start them on ands. For example, if I start a drum fill on the and of beat 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4, and here it comes, and 2 and 3 and 4. So there I'm playing 1 and 2 and a 3E and a 4E and a. Does that make sense? So what you can start to do that and go beyond the very basic on the beat start, starting the drum fills and go on the ands and stuff like that. And what this really, really starts to plug into is a really core, solid, basic understanding of time, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the relationship between the note values, right? So the eighth notes on the hi-hat in the groove, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the 16ths in the drum fill, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That's what it boils down to, man. So I would, once you've got that all going, put some music on with a nice straight 8s feel, steady 4 beats in the bar, groove along. When it's drum fill time, say to yourself, right, I'm going to start this drum fill on beat 1, 2, 3 or 4, play single stroke 16ths for the appropriate amount of time, crash back in. And if you can do that consistently, then again, you're in the game. You're a drummer at that point. Do you know what I mean? You can play the drums at that point. And I think people get wildly distracted with all sorts of different things playing the drums. I know, because I've really seen it. People get distracted with all sorts of crazy stuff. It boils down to that, man. That's a great, great starting point for a groove and fill playing drummer. Make sure you can do that. I hope that all makes a bit of sense. Basically, counting up to 4, man. With Spinal Tap once auditioned for a new drummer, and there was a press conference, and the question asked was, what are you looking for in a new drummer? I forget who said it. I think Nigel Tufnell said, we're looking for someone who can, count up to 4. And one of the other guys chips in several times, and that is it, man. Like, it really does boil down to that. It's so easy to get distracted by all sorts of different things. That's the most basic thing in drumming. You need to be able to count to 4, play your groove. Remember a bar, by the way. 1 bar of music is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I have people coming for the drum lessons who want to learn music and grades and have been playing sometimes for quite a long period of time, and they still aren't clear what a bar is. A bar is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in the most classic version of how it's written, the snare drum is 2 and 4, right? There are 2 snare drum hits in 1 bar. We talk about a backbeat on the drums. A backbeat is a big snare drum hit on 2 and 4. And it really does boil down to that, man. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and choosing where you want to start your drum fill. And a great place to start, single stroke 16ths, orchestrated around the kit. It's a winner, man. You'll go a seriously long way with that. Obviously, then you can expand out from there, do different note values, add in different sticking patterns, all that kind of cool stuff, and dynamics and everything else under the sun to make your drum fills potentially more interesting. But I really feel that you can go a seriously long way, and certainly play in a band successfully and play with other musicians and make music feel good, which is what we're all doing here anyway, in my opinion, by just having that, man, solid groove and single stroke 16ths and landing on beat 1 and keeping the whole thing grooving and counting up to 4. So I hope that's all helpful. Any questions about any of that, give us a shout. Thanks so much for watching as always. Really, really appreciate it. Please like, share and subscribe to these videos, and thanks a million as always to all the amazing people who've supported this channel via my Buy Me a Coffee support page. You can do that either by buying me a coffee, so to speak. I need coffee in this game. That's a single one-off show of support for the channel. And the other way is to become a monthly member. And thanks so much to all the amazing monthly members who are signing up. You get a whole load of great features as a monthly member. You get members videos. You get ongoing drum support. You can message me. I'll message you back about things you're working on. You get a free Zoom session. You get a reduced rate on future Zoom sessions and face-to-face sessions when that's a thing again. And you get a whole load of other drum support as well, and priority requests on future videos on the channel. input onto the channel, all sorts of stuff like that. If that's of interest, please check out my Buy Me a Coffee page, which is below. And thanks a million for watching as always, and count up to 4, man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.